So we're finally below that $10,500 region. What are you preparing for? So, welcome to the channel. If you are new, subscribe, bell button, like, comment, all kinds of good stuff. Now, a lot of people commented on my video yesterday. Thank you for the response, it was great. But if you are a new person or if you are essentially a quiet watcher, please do comment, please do like the video. It helps it go further. That'll obviously allow me to grow. A lot of people like my stuff, which is really, really good. So yeah, let's keep it going. And also, thank you, 13,000 subscribers. Over the moon, man. Amazing. But let's look at the chart, because first things first, I obviously sold yesterday morning at roughly 8:30, 9 o'clock yesterday AM, roughly 10,350, 11,350 even, not 10,000. So an absolute great call on that sell. Now looking at the 12-hour time frame, so this level in and around here was where I was selling, around this weekly level, where that's not so much a weekly level, it's more of a daily level. But I was a bit thinking, well, we've had multiple tests of that 12k region. I thought, oh fuck it, I'm going to sell it, because it was looking rather bearish and that looked like a classic fake out. And I was looking at the chart thinking, ooh, there's a crossover, it's not looking good, it's looking bearish, the RSI showed a bearish zone. I was also looking at the news and there was a lot of like influx of miners going to the exchanges, thinking this isn't going to end well. But what's going to happen next? You can see that line here. If I go to the daily time frame, this line here is pivotal. This is like the big one. We've held the support before. It's been resistance a numerous amount of times in the past. It's like the perfect of situations that we've got here where this is now resistance. My honest feelings are this is going to be a tough nut to crack, in my opinion. When you zoom in on it and you think, well, where's it been like time wise? We're going to have a bit of an issue getting beyond this if it does start to turn around again. So if in terms of this as like a highlight point, this video is all about investing in terms of when not to do it and when to do it. So stick around. But we're going to do a little bit of analysis on Bitcoin first, because it's kind of important to get this message out there. We're high. Even now, when you look at the averages of where Bitcoin's been in terms of its life cycle, the average in terms of the last 3 years has been around that 6 to 7k region. That's kind of obvious. When you zoom out a little bit, you see that. You see that throughout the course of time where it's been in and around these regions. Cool, happy days. But this chart is limited in terms of what data I've got. Simple as that. This is a Bybit chart. But we have been down at 3k levels for a while. We've been in and around the 7k regions for a while. We've been obviously back down lower again, and in and around this 9k region. Even now at 10,400, whatever region we are at, you got to respect that prices in terms of the stock market, in terms of how that runs, are high. What happens if Bitcoin follows that stock market? Well, the Bitcoin market's not going to hold up at all. If the Nasdaq drops 2,000 points in a jiffy very, very quickly, we got problems, like huge problems. And when you look at the Nasdaq, and we're going to do this first actually, this could easily just drop its ass very, very quickly. And I say the word there, 2,000 points. Is it really that plausible? Let's have a look at the bottom level of this fib, for example, on the daily time frame. Now, if we do drop 2,000 points, it's going to take us to the first retracement level. This is a huge monumental rise. It's a huge speculative bubble. If we are going to follow that, well, guess what? Crypto is going to fall down with it, in my opinion. So we've got to bear this in mind. We've got to bear that there's potentially lower prices to go. That's 1,400 points dropped. In terms of the top, 2,000. Okay, that's a huge freaking number, man. So just be careful. This could correct, and if it does correct, things are going to get very interesting. Even right now, watching this chart and looking at what happened in the course of the yesterday, it's a 5% move. It's a massive, massive monumental move. When you look at the S&P 500, again, a drop, but we've also steadied the ship at these EMA levels and previous levels of obviously, give or take, bit higher, but you know what I mean. We're over some real big highs right now. All-time high, happy days, but as this has been a bit of a discovery mission, we could very, very easily correct, especially when you look at the likes of the election. If we're looking at this bottom region to the top, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest to see this down at 3,000 at any point in the next coming months, essentially, and certainly by November time. So if we are tied to that, well, we're going to see blood on the streets, aren't we? We're going to see a lot of blood on the streets. It's going to be interesting. But in terms of the narrative right now, tomorrow's Saturday. Shit happens on a weekend. If people wanted to do something, it will happen tomorrow. Today may not be the case, but when we're looking at open positions and we're looking at like the daily time frame, for example, right? We've got this massive influx. We've got this bottom here. In my opinion, it wouldn't shock me in the slightest to see us rise. We may fail though, beyond this level and maybe up to 10.5. 10.8, sorry. 10.5 is obviously here, but I think it's incredibly risky if we are going to be looking at these sort of positions. I don't think it's wise. In my opinion, you should already be out of position if you were looking to try and get out and try and protect capital. It was up in these regions to get out where I got out. We could retest this level here, this previous weekly range, which is a huge range. If you look at the weekly candle, it's a mess. It's a complete and utter mess. If my trading view chart works, so I think I broke it. There we go. Look at that as a bearish engulfing candle. It's horrendous. For this to be rescued, it has to close by Sunday in and around where these wicks are to protect it, to be a bullish candle. In my opinion, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's going to be quite a strong ask when you go and consider that this is 10.5. We've closed below that. This is now resistance. This has to be broken. How many months and years did it take to break that? It took over a year to break it. Ooh. So, investment tips. Let's talk about investment tips. I personally don't think that we're going to moon from here. I think if we were going to moon, it would have held a support here and we would have went up throughout the night and we would have carried on. The market sentiment is starting to change. When you look at the fact that the miners, for example, selling and big money moving out of Ethereum as it stands in Uniswap and stuff like that, it's showing that the sentiment is starting to change. You've also got elements like Ghost Month happening right now, where that is a real thing, by the way. Look at the data throughout the whole world of investing and why that is quite important. But when I consider and what I've just spoke about in terms of the Dow Jones, the S&P 500, gold, etc., if that is pure speculation right now due to stimulus checks, due to furlough programs, due to all kinds of money printing, well, it's going to end when that stops. In the UK, furlough is ending right now. It's pretty much winding down now. That could create unemployment because companies will have to then pay the wages of staff. They may not have the money left to do it. They've been bailed out by the government. Same in America. Unemployment is going up and up and up. So with regards to that, if there is a knock-on effect in terms of unemployment and a recession, which has already been confirmed in the UK, why would the stock market keep going up? It's not. It won't go up. It will eventually come down. So, scenario one is simple. If you are an investor and you've been buying at these high levels, you're doing it wrong. You need to buy at the lows. If the opportunity presents itself at a lower Bitcoin level or a lower Chainlink or a lower XRP or lower any coin, whatever, you must buy it. That is how you do it. Too many people are scared to buy assets when they're low. And I'm not talking about these levels here. I would still say that anything around this 10.5 level is, in my opinion, when you compare that where we've been in the past, the chances are you could probably get a better price at some point if you are patient enough. You've got to remember, patience is key. And this is why I've always been saying, it doesn't matter what the stock to flow ratio does. It doesn't matter what the world of scarcity is. It goes off actual demand. Why are people selling at these levels? Why is it so in tune with the stock market? You've got to remember these things. It doesn't just go up because, someone said it might go up. You've got to look at the overall picture of the news. Why is that stock market pumping? Well, look at the fundamental flaws in that. Then you got to think, well, why is Bitcoin, etc., going up at the same time? Well, it's all the same thing. It's FOMO, it's fear of missing out, it's speculation. This could be a speculation bubble of 2020 due to tether prints, stimulus checks, furlough programs, pandemic, lower fees on all kinds of stuff, and people staying at home. Simple as that. It could just be a pure speculation. And that's the thing. We've got to kind of embrace that could be a thing, and we could start then tuning down the levels, going back down to normality, which could be roughly around that 7 to 8k region, and just chill there. That could be a thing. You're probably going to hate me for that. But if that does happen, you press the buy button. You fucking buy. Simple as that, right? That is how you do it. The other option is obviously the trading element of it. If you trade and you're accumulating and you're always buying the lows and selling at the highs, this is where the money is. And I said it yesterday, embrace the bear market. The bear market is where the money is made. It's where stock market makers essentially make the money. Like, people often say, well, actually, if you just buy in whole, you're going to make money, but you don't. Not always. If you buy at the wrong time and it goes down, well, people's thought process in the mind is not the same. If you've bought Bitcoin at like 1k, you're probably absolutely perfectly fine. However, there's people that didn't. There's people that caught onto Bitcoin way too late at $15,000, $16,000, $17,000, still underwater. Simple as that. So, fundamentals of investing is simple. You buy low, you sell high, you accumulate low, you take profits when it's high. It's that simple, but people don't get it. I've been tweeting for the last month saying, take profit, secure the bag. If you don't do that at any high point, it doesn't matter. If that market carries on going up, you've made money. Profit is key. The amount of money that I put on the exchanges yesterday from a period of 2 months profit is enough to make people's eyes water in the real world. That's the reality of it. And in my opinion, it's not even that much. It's a skim off the top. It's a skim. But people would be crying out for that within 2 months. At the end of the day, all I'm going to do with that capital, I'm going to put it right at the lows, and I'm going to do it again and again and again. For me, 12k looks a bit toppy. We're now below a significant level. A significant level. If we break above it and we hold above it, I will probably jump back in and accumulate some more. Anyways, I've won, realistically. However, I feel we're going to go down lower. I personally feel we are going to go down lower. If we do, bonus. But today looks like a relief rally, bit of support. But for me, I think the bears are going to start getting in control very, very soon. As much of this is a pullback as it is, the ultimate lies of what's going to happen in the next few months with the stock market. If that comes down, well, things are going to get very, very interesting for the crypto space.